Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the July 2020 Northern Nevada Beekeepers Association meeting via Zoom. It's pretty exciting. I think I figured out the chat function finally with the help of Philippe and Stefan and Mark. Thanks so much. So I'll talk a little bit about what's happening, up and coming stuff with the club and the newsletter, and then we're going to go into a PowerPoint presentation about package making at Conan, and then we're going to talk about the elections. We're going to go into the elections, and as you can see on the screen, these are the positions that'll be available if you're interested in becoming an officer. So there's obviously incumbents, and we'll get into that process a little bit later. So let your intentions be known. We're going to allow the participants to unmute themselves during the elections so that you'll be able to talk if you're interested in any of the positions available. So that's during the election part, and I'll talk about that again, a little bit down the road after we talk about what's happening. So we're going to continue to do Zoom meetings. We bought an annual membership, and even after the library opens up for in-person meetings, we are going to provide that as an option for people to participate in the meeting via Zoom. I'm not sure at what level, but you'll be able to see pretty much what's going on with the screens, and you'll hear the guest speakers and stuff like that. So we'll probably set up maybe a chat feature, especially at the end during the question and answer session. So that's going to be an option from here on out. The library is closed until at least September. So they sent Pam G an email saying that they're definitely going to be closed in August, and the first available possible in-person meeting opportunity is going to be in September. The picnic is definitely on, and we're going to play it by ear. We're going to listen to what the state park has to say for the group meetings area. They may limit it to a number of people. They may cancel it. I'm not really sure. It's all paid for. It's going to be at the Washoe Lake State Park on September 19th. And we usually start off around noon or so. It takes me a while to drive out there with all the fixings and fire up the grill. And so kind of expect to arrive around noon. And we're going to have the world famous honey tasting event. And Stefan said he's going to win this year. Right, Stefan? Thumbs up on Stefan. Good. Yeah. So so the challenge is on. Who's going to beat Stefan is the question. So, and yeah, so that's pretty much what's happening with the July. Everybody should have their bees healthy, bringing in honey, and at the end of the month, July is typically when the experts say to remove your honey and treat for varroa mites, no later than the first week of August. So that's wise advice for Northern Nevada beekeepers, and I follow that advice, and it seems to work out really well. In fact, Northern Nevada Department of Agriculture just checked Bruce Kuhn's bees for their annual survey. They look for nosema, K-wing, acute bee paralysis virus. They do a mite count as well, and they usually sample from. They need a minimum of like 10 colonies to sample from. So that was done today. He was the first of the year, and I've been participating in that program now for about 5 years. And so if you're interested in that, contact the Nevada Department of Agriculture. If you have 10 or more colonies, they'll come out for free and check your bees for all the nasty stuff and mites and all that. So, okay. Stefan, Mark, could you unmute Stefan for a second? Stefan, I'd like you to talk about the queen rearing class you had on Saturday and let us know how that went?
Yeah. So it was successful in that we were able to talk about rearing bees. Really, I kind of emphasize that at our level, unless we're making lots of queens, really doing walkaway splits is easier and more successful. We did try our hand at grafting, but it was so hot that most of the, well, actually all of them. So I went back in the next day to look at the grafts, and the bees had cleaned out all the larvae and thrown them away because they'd all gotten too hot and dried out. Which, because I didn't know how the weather was going to be, at 1 o'clock on a Saturday where it's 95 degrees outside is not the best time to be doing grafts. So, yeah. And but I think we got across some good information, and it was fun, and hopefully we can try it again another time and be successful at it. So,
When do you recommend, Stefan? What time of year is best for doing grafts and splits in Reno, Sparks area in your experience?
So I have pretty good luck in early spring, and I have, as long as I do the grafts earlier in the day or later in the evening when it's just not so hot. It seems like it works out a little bit better. I usually have 50 to 60% success rate. So even though I've tried quite a bit, I haven't done any this year until this class, but it is a technique that just takes a lot of practice. So, but you also have to have a place for all those queens to go once you get them. So it's kind of hit and miss there.
So for the average beekeeper in the club, Stefan, what do you recommend?
I would recommend doing walkaway splits with a nucleus hive, just pulling out eggs and larvae, and then making sure they have enough bees to keep that stuff healthy, and they will make a queen. And actually, they'll probably make about 6 or 7 of them. And so if you wanted, you could start them all off strong in that, and then you could make smaller splits if you wanted to make extra queens. You just cut the queens off the cells, off the foundation, and then put them on foundation in another split. I've done that, and that worked out pretty good too. But I would only do that when it's warmer. If you do it when it's too cold, a lot of times they abandon those queen cells because they just try to huddle together and stay warm. So.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Now I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to do I'm going to start the PowerPoint presentation on making packages at Conan. And I'm not sure. I click on share screen.
Yeah, click on share screen, then you select the screen you want to share.
Right here, and then share. Okay. Everybody got that? It's up?
Got it.
Nice. Okay. So Conan is one of the biggest package producers in the entire United States, and their quality of bees is absolutely amazing. So they do their own queen rearing and mating, and they shake from their own colonies of bees. For the most part, sometimes they have to buy bees from other sources in the valley because they're, you know, the bulk bees are pretty much the workers. It's their queens that are most important in the process. But they sell a lot of packages. There's Oliveris as well. They're neck and neck, and I'm not sure exactly how many they sell, but I think Oliveris makes about 100,000 queens a year, and most of them come from Hawaii because they can raise queens year-round. But Conan does it here in California, or here on the West Coast in California. So I'll talk a little bit about that process through this PowerPoint presentation. So there's the entrance, pretty nice custom-made sign, and very, very nice family-run operation. They've been doing this for like 80 years now. Yeah, it's definitely a quality situation. So this is one of their yards. This is just a normal yard that they have in California. So this is after the almond bloom. They take the bees out of the almonds and they place them usually in the foothills because it's a lot safer location. So all these bees have already pollinated almonds, and they're in the foothills of California, and these guys drive out there in these trucks. These are brand new package cages, and they're just taking them off the trucks. And see the guy in the center over here, at about 11 o'clock position, where they're opening the colonies. Yeah. And this is where they make the packages. They have a full assembly location at Conan itself, and they make 2, 3, and 4 pound packages. And these are some of so the ones in the center, upper center, are used ones. They're kind of discolored, and and then the ones off on to the left of the conveyor, and to the left of the screen, it's all brand new boxes that they put together. So the scale is very important, and you see the syrup cans under the truck, and then they've already stapled the boxes in 5 sets of 5. So they're getting ready. See the blowtorch, ready to light a smoker. The guy in the gray suit walking away. So this is a shaker. They shake the bees into this funnel thing, and that cage is usually full. There's an opening, slide gate opening on the other side that we don't see right now. So this is a tool that they use to make sure the bees drop into the shaker, so they don't basically injure themselves. It kind of separates the number of bees. And you see the little, I don't know, how do I get the, does everybody see my pointer? No? It's like my little mouse? Yeah. So this is the little gate opening thing, and this is the top of this box here. So they're just opening the colonies, and some of them are 3 deeps out of the almonds, which is, some of them are 3 deeps out of the almonds, which is pretty impressive. So I gotta say that I'm on an Ethernet connection in the middle of Northern California right now, and my beekeeping partner here in Petrolia is allowing me to use it, and it's not the best connection. Is everybody following? Is it okay? The audio and everything? Give me a thumbs up. Good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So this is that shaker divider they use. And it's got a screen on it as well. So they try to eliminate shaking queens and drones into the packages. It's only the workers go through that screened divider box, I guess you want to call it. And this is one of the colonies. That's a healthy looking colony. They're both, I mean, all of these are pretty healthy. So they bulk up pretty good after the almonds. And that if I had a colony, you know, like that in March, you know, that's doing doggone good. But it's California, so completely different environment. So this is how they weigh the bees. There's a funnel here, and then this is capped off on the bottom. It's got a little thing, and then so they zero the scale, and then they pour bees into that funnel. And they're pouring bees into it right now. They're pouring bees into that top of the funnel from this holding container. Yeah, and depends on the weight of the package. Could be 2 pounds, 3 pounds, or 4 pounds. And these look like 3 pound packages right here. Yeah, they're definitely 3 pound. So they took this bottom part off and they inverted it. So they already weighed the bees. It's got 3 pounds in this funnel looking thing, and they're putting the bees into that empty package with the syrup can ready. And the queens should be very close by, but I don't see it. I don't see the queens right there in that picture. So they have they have a queen bank very nearby. I don't see it right here in any of the slides. This is where they fill the syrup cans. They have a filling station around the corner, and they get the cans sometimes pre-filled, and that's more popular nowadays. And they punch holes. They punch 3 holes with the pre-filled cans, and then they also have cans that come empty with the center hole, and then they have to put that little screen and grommet in. So, here's a field syrup tank, syrup truck. So this is filled with syrup and they go around feeding the bees in preparation for the almonds. They're tossing, they're just working back and forth. So this is that separator screen device that they try to separate the queens and the drones from the workers before they fill the package. And this is another shot. See this slider gate? They'll open that slider, put 3 pounds of bees in this, and then separate that, invert it into the package, and put a syrup can on and a queen, and good to go, or queen. So this is the picture of the queen bank right here. So this entire box is filled with frames like this that open like a clamshell. Inside this clamshell, these right here are looks like the last of the queen cages of this particular frame. And I'll show you a better picture. So this box is the queen bank, and this is the frame that's opened up like a clamshell. And these are all queens. These are queen cages, that 1 row of queen cages, 2 rows of queen cages, 3 rows of queen cages that are going across, another row of queen cage. So there's 6 rows of queen cages on this one frame, and there's, I think, 6 frames in each one of these boxes. So there's probably 500 queens in that one box. It's a queen bank. And here's a cleaner picture of the queen bank and all the queens. So there's a queen in each one of these cages. I guess there's 4 rows. I take that back. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 23, 22 per row. So yeah, almost 100. So 100 queens per frame. Yeah, so I think I'm counting right. No, 200. Almost 200. Almost 200 per frame. So yeah. And here's a picture of one of the queen bank frames just opened up. So I think there's, yeah, close to 200. And here's an empty one, a used one. They just stack them on the truck, strap them down, bring them back to the facility. It's quite a mess. A lot of bees flying around. And here's their queen bank holding feeding area at Conan itself. So each one of these boxes holds 200 queens, mated queens, and up here too. And then on the other side, there's another entire bank on the right side that we don't see. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then times 3, 24 times 200. There's about 5,000. When this is full, there's about 5,000 queens. And then on the other side is another 5,000 Carniolan queens. I think these are the Italian queens on this side. So at any one time, they have between 5,000 and 10,000 mated queens in this particular room. And here's an incubator for the eggs. So it would be really nice, Stefan, when you were doing your grafting, to have this incubator thing set up, after the cell's capped, but you didn't get that far. So yeah, so this is temperature and humidity controlled incubator. And this is their, this is their grafting yard. So they choose particular queens that are gentle and produce a lot of honey. And this is where they put the bars with the queen cups, and they feed these bees like crazy. So these are queenless colonies that they add frames of grafts to in their backyard. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And here's some mating nukes. They're very tiny. So they have a huge amount of mating nukes. I saw maybe 10,000 mating nukes in storage there, and who knows how many they had in the field. So this is an example of a typical mating yard where they'll put them out there, and this is like a feed station and all that. So here's a different mating yard, and these look like styrofoam boxes. So it's pretty important to maintain temperature and humidity when you're doing all this grafting and mating and all that. So, okay, here are the packages being loaded from their loading bay. They're being loaded onto a trailer here from a guy from Colorado. He had a big order, and here's some are ready to go. I think these might be ours right here. This is a picture of ours. 1 year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think this is ours right here. And just load them in the back of the trailer for this other guy. And this is the first year that I delivered packages to the club. This was 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. My truck seats look really nice and clean. So I'm going to say 4 years ago. I forgot how many exactly were in here. Maybe 32. Could have been 32 packages of bees. And this is the passenger seat. And then this is the driver's seat, obviously. And I had hundreds of bees flying around inside the cab of my truck. Like, look at all these clingers all over the kit, and over here and over here. And I didn't get stung one time until I was passing a package of bees to somebody there at the parking lot at the library, and I accidentally grabbed a package, and a bee was right on my finger, and it caught me. I drove 170 miles without a sting, and then I got stung in the parking lot at the library. Just offloading these and giving them to a customer. So, and this was this year. That's the picture from this year's delivery to from Conan to the club. Yeah. So this is the back of my trailer. I slept overnight. There's a queen full-size mattress there, and this is my camping trailer, pretty much. So I strapped them down so they wouldn't, fall apart and everything. So yeah, that was it. That was the delivery, and that's it. So I'd like to open it up for questions, or if you have a question, please chat. Please write in the chat section if you have a question concerning the whole process, and I'll try to answer it. I'm not a package making expert, but I have sold packages in the past, and I sold 6 packages this year as well, and it's basically the same process.
So the question is, with the hot weather, do you have any recommendations regarding ventilation in hives?
Yeah, so open up your screen bottom board, make sure your entrance is wide open, and put them in shade, especially shade that's in the west side of your boxes, like a tree or a building or anything like that. That really helps a lot. And if you put something white over the top of your bees, like a white board or a white cardboard or something, just so this heat wave passes, they'll do better, much better. And that's pretty much in the first chapter of all beekeeping books, is placement of your colony. And since we get this lot of heat in the summer, shade to the west of your colonies is very important. And nearby water helps a lot too. This time of year, they'll use between a half gallon and a gallon of water to help cool the colony down, typically. Any other questions?
Next one was, how long did it take Conan to get an operation that big?
They've been in business for about 80 years, but they also do nuts. So they raise pecans and walnuts. So I think they started with nuts and they continued with nuts. So about 50% of their operation is nuts, and the other 50% is pollination and bees. They don't sell any honey as far as I know, or if they do, they don't sell retail. It probably goes to a honey packer like Sue Bee or the equivalent.
I say with Conan, if you buy early enough, sometimes they'll give you a bag of nuts with your bee package.
That's true.
I've had that
Yeah.
before. So.
I got a little Ziploc of pecans this year myself. Yeah, and they're really fresh. Fresh
Okay.
pecans are incredibly good. Any other questions?
Nothing else posted. Okay.
Okay. So just open it up to general questions and answers before we get into the election. Any issues that people are encountering so far? As far as I can tell, the chatter on my email from members and from the website is minimal. So no news is good news. So hopefully everybody's bees are happy and healthy.
So I'm not seeing any questions being posted. Does anyone have general bee questions, what to do, or any questions about their bees? Hey, you're all doing great. No questions.
So let's get into the elections. And Mark, can you post the opening screen for the positions that are available?
Okay.
Nice. There we go. Yeah. So first, I want to say thank you for everybody for your incredible support you've given me and the club. Like, we've grown from like 25 members when I first started attending this club in 2010 to almost 200. We had almost 200 members last year. With this COVID, we still have 125 members, which is incredible since we only had one in-person meeting. And so thank you so much to everybody for your incredible support. Yeah, so I started as an officer about 5 years ago as vice president, and I took over the president position after Bonnie left about a little over 2 years ago. And I've had a great run, but now it's time to step down due to some chronic health issues that I need to address. So thank you all so much, and I feel blessed for all your encouragement and support for these 5 years. So I just want to get that out and say, that to all the people that have done such an incredible job for this club, and we're all volunteers. We don't get paid for this stuff, so it's you guys are amazing, just off the charts, incredible. I'm really proud to have been a part of this organization. So so let's get into the elections. Yeah, and I'll go through each position and ask first if anybody would like to challenge the incumbent. And if so, please unmute yourself and ask to be nominated. And then, I will ask you probably to introduce yourself and explain why you want to be in that position. And then I'll do the same. I'll let the incumbent do the same thing and talk about why they want to be in that position. So for me, I'm not going to be running, but everybody else, I think, have some incumbents in those positions as far as I understand. So if something changed, then let me know. Thank you, Steph. Okay, so let's start out with the mentor program coordinator, facilitator. Is there anybody out there who would like to run for that position besides the incumbent? Please unmute yourself and let us know. Okay, looks like, as far as I can tell, there's no challenger to that position. We'll have a simple vote for Stefan Braun. Stefan, would you like to say something?
Anybody can do it.
Tell us what it is.
So really what it comes down to is just getting a list of all the people who want to be mentors and all the people that need mentors, and then trying to match people up. And then a lot of it is just taking on a bunch of people that I can't find mentors for. So you can do it.
Great. And I think you're doing a great job, Stefan. So let me see if I can figure out how to do the thumbs up reactions. Oh, there we go. So let's do a simple vote via thumbs up for Stefan Braun to continue to be the mentor program coordinator. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So
You're hired.
simple thumbs up, just a simple thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
All right, how many we got? It is it locked in stone?
They came and
Written in
went, but it
stone?
was a good majority of them.
Okay, nice. Okay,
Figure out how to do mine.
so Stefan, congratulations. Yeah, and the social media manager position is going to be next. And so I'd like to ask if there's anybody would like to challenge the incumbent, Mark Hodes. And basically the social media manager has access to Facebook, and we have a YouTube channel now. And of course, he's the coordinator for the Zoom meeting tonight. He's the host. And that's what I expect from the social media manager position, to do, that kind of role. Is there anybody out there? Apparently not. So, Mark Hodes is the incumbent. I'd like for Mark to speak a little bit about why you want to be the social media manager and what it means to you.
So really, I took on social media manager last year because it's just a position that needed to be filled, and I have a position or a background in IT, so it's just something I'm familiar with doing. So I picked it up from there and just kind of go with it.
I think you're doing an awesome job, man, as well.
Yeah, just kind of watch Facebook and run these meetings as I see them. And
okay, let's do a vote. Simple thumbs up. Right on. Looks like you got it, Mark.
okay.
Congratulations. And next position available is equipment custodian. Pam Galantomany is the incumbent. Is there anybody else who would like to run for that position? Please unmute yourself and let us know. Is Pam here tonight?
Do I see? I don't think I see Pam. Steven, I see a thumbs up. Does that mean you want her?
She's here.
Oh, there's Pam.
She's here. All right. All right, Pam. Looks like you have no challengers. So please introduce yourself and let us know why you want to remain the equipment custodian.
Okay, I'm more than willing to remain the equipment custodian. It seems to be pretty easy since I'm centrally located, just right in the heart of Reno for people to get to me. My garage is cleaned out now somewhat, so the equipment's easily accessible. For those of you that aren't familiar, we have 2 extractors, manual extractors, and we have a full setup of other equipment, including a hot knife, the stainless steel mesh screens, the uncapping tools, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm more than willing to continue to do it.
Thank you. Thank you, Pam. You're doing a great job. Now let's do a simple vote. Thumbs up. Looks like you got it, Pam.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Next position is the Secretary Event Coordinator, Even Coordinator. Even Coordinator, I like it. So Deborah Quackenbush is the incumbent. Is there anybody out there that would like to run for that position? Please unmute yourself and let us know. Okay, looks like Deborah, would you like to say why you want to become, or why you want to remain the Secretary Event Coordinator and what your job's about?
It's a super fun job. Let me just say that. Get to meet lots of people, do a lot of the events here in Reno. Of course, this year there were no events, but you know, still we communicate with virtual events, and next year I'm sure if things get back to normal or semi-normal, there'll be schools and all those things that you know, we all look forward to representing the bees. So if you're interested, you know, please step up, and it's a good opportunity to meet some wonderful people in the biz, or the bees-ness.
Thank you, Deborah. I think you're doing a great job also. Yeah, wonderful. You're a champion. So simple vote, thumbs up. Yeah, looks like we got it. Congratulations, Deborah, on remaining the event coordinator. And the next position available is the treasurer position. Is there anybody out there who would like to challenge the incumbent, Randy Fletcher, for the treasurer position? Please unmute yourself and let us know. All right. Is Randy available? Is he here tonight? Let him talk a little bit about what he does as a treasurer and why he wants to remain treasurer.
I am here, yes. Why do I want to remain treasurer? That's a good question. No, I've got it under control now after several years of this. I've got it. It's a big rush at certain times, and other times it's just writing people checks.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's do a simple vote. Looks like you got it, Randy. You're going to remain the treasurer for at least in the near term. So that's great. Thank you. Congratulations. I think you're doing an awesome job as well. Yeah. All right. Next position available is vice president. Is there anybody who would like to challenge Jim Russell as the incumbent? Please unmute yourself and let us know.
Yes, hi. I would suggest Jim as the president, actually. So I think before we should vote for the vice president, we might want to think about, before we think about the president, we should also think about the vice president. Maybe Jim should step up like you used to step up, Mike.
I would second that motion.
That would be an interesting concept. Yeah. So I think it might be up to Jim to decide. Yeah. So let's ask Jim how he feels about that. Jim, are you out there?
I don't think he's on, so he's president by default.
We're gonna,
I
Emu
second that
nominated him.
motion.
Is there Emu nominated him? Is there a second? Is there a second to nominate Jim by default?
I second it.
Who seconded it?
Randy.
Randy. We got two nomination, or we got two. So he's been nominated by 2 members, and I guess it's a done deal, So you're challenging Jim
He's been drafted.
as vice president. So I'm not sure exactly how to word that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not challenging Jim. I'm suggesting Jim for president, and I don't need to be vice president. We can
Oh, I
also-
thought you were suggesting you be vice president.
I mean, you know,
That's what I
honestly,
thought.
That's what I
I
thought.
second the motion.
I suggest Felipe for vice president.
It's a good job. It really you just fill in for the president when he can't be available.
Jim,
So-
looks like Jim posted in chat that he doesn't have a mic, but he'd be willing to be president.
Yay.
so Emu. So since Jim stepped up, can we
Yes.
ask you to step up? Huh?
I would also suggest maybe a few older members. I mean, B-wise older, I have B's since not even 2 years. I don't know if, for example, someone like Felipe would like to be vice president.
Man, why do we have to throw people under the bus here?
You know, it sounds like we have competition for vice president. We have Nemu and Felipe both nominated with seconds.
Oh,
Mm.
Felipe. So, Emu, are you willing to run for vice president?
I mean, it's great to have a female vice president, but I mean,
I
I'm
agree with that. That's a done deal.
Felipe. I think Felipe is more experienced than I am.
But did that answer the question?
Sorry?
Is that your final answer?
Well, does Felipe want to do it?
Philippe?
I'll say for the vice president, you don't have to have as much experience. It's just help running the club. And you have
I would like to have.
officers to
I
help.
would like to have a challenge. Yeah, so that would be nice. So let's let the club members vote. Or if you're willing to do that, Emu.
Sure.
Okay, so we have 2 people that would like to be vice president. One is Emu Heller McNeilage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Philippe Da Silva. So I'm gonna let Philippe talk this time. I'm gonna let Philippe talk to everybody about why he wants to be vice
No.
president.
That's probably a bad idea. I can't do it right now. I got school. It's crazy right now. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was gonna be exciting. It's gonna be a real election with real voting and
Not right now. Next year, maybe.
that's Emu was under the impression that you were gonna challenge her at the election. Shall we? You can't do it, Philippe?
Well, what does it entail? Let's talk about that.
It's a very simple job. You just basically fill in. You'll get all the passwords to the website. You'll get access to the email. You'll back up the president if the president's not available for a meeting or answering emails that come through the website. You'll be able to modify the website and you get free membership.
Most of your
$25 a
website
year.
modification will go to your social media manager.
All right.
And you get a really cool shirt that says Vice President on the back.
I'll run.
You'll run? Oh, it's going to be great. I'm really excited. Thank you, Philippe.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm following the chat, but I really can't do it because I'm not a Zoom master or anything. But Jim probably should explain the vice president position if he's able to talk. Is Jim out there?
Jim
Oh
is
yeah. So I got it. Oh yeah, there you go, Jim. I got you. So the vice president also gives input at the meetings. Yeah, that's right, on topics, and you can present and get involved in the meetings. 100%. Yeah, I thought that was just a given, but so the vice president also gives input into the meeting topics. Yeah. Okay. So Emu, we've heard. Did we hear from Philippe? Why he wants to be vice president?
No, let's hear from him.
Yeah. Let's hear from Philippe.
I guess it's, I mean, I've been a beekeeper for a few years now. I started beekeeping. This is my third consecutive year, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mark. Done one year prior to that, but I had to take a break from beekeeping for a little bit of time. And I've been in this kinds of positions before as presidency and vice presidency, so I'm familiar with it a little bit. Definitely new to a beekeeping club in the presidency if that happens, but I'll do my best to help out the club where I can.
Awesome. Thank you, Philippe. Okay, Emu, would you like to tell us why you would like to be vice president?
I would do it if Felipe doesn't want to do it. I think I have not so much experience. I do not have bees since I have bees since not even 2 years, and
That's telling us why you don't want to be.
yeah, I would want to do it for the T-shirt. That's totally big.
Come on, you do that for yourself. Let's do this.
The battle is on. No, just kidding. Why I want to do it? Yeah, I mean, maybe to learn how to manage this website. That would be maybe a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Jim. Other than that, the T-shirt. Yeah.
Okay, so the battle is on, Emu. We're gonna have a vote. Emu, I didn't. Are we having a vote? Is it a challenge to Philippe for the position?
Yes.
All right. This is so exciting. This is really exciting. So we actually have a real election going on. So since Philippe and Mark, you're going to do the counting. No funny business, Mark.
All right. Yeah. So if you put your thumbs up, leave them there for a moment to make sure I have a chance to count them all.
Okay. So the first person we're going to be voting for the vice president position is Philippe Da Silva. And if you want Philippe to be the vice president, please give a thumbs up.
Okay.
How many do we have?
I can't tell you yet.
Okay. Okay, that's smart. You're very good. Okay. So Emu would also like to be vice president. If you would like to vote for Emu, please give a thumbs up.
Yes. Okay. We have a winner.
Could you announce it, Mark?
The winner is Emu.
Emu, congratulations.
Thank you.
How did I know this?
Congratulations.
Yay!
Sorry.
I'm so glad we had an election. It's really fun. It's so fun. It's so great. Yeah, love it. I love it. Okay, the next position is president. And is there anybody who would like to challenge Jim Russell in the president position out there? Please unmute yourself and let us know. Okay, it looks like Jim, do you have your audio fixed by chance? I guess not. So I guess we can't hear from Jim as why he wants to be the president, but let's just go with it. And he already said that he would do it, so it's great. Thank you so much, Jim, for stepping up. Thank you so much, Jim, for stepping up. It's going to be fun and challenging. You're right. Yeah, awesome. So let's do a simple vote for Jim for president. Since there's no challengers, give a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay. So that concludes our elections. Congratulations to Jim Russell, President, Vice President, Emu Heller McNeilage, Treasurer, Randy Fletcher, Event Coordinator / Secretary, Deborah Quackenbush, Equipment Custodian, Pam Galantomini, Social Media Manager, Mark Hodius, and Mentor Program Coordinator, Stefan Braun. Yay! Clap, 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 clap. All right. That was great. Thank you all so much for being volunteers in this wonderful organization. Yeah. And I'll still see you at the picnic, you know. I'll still try to attend some of the events, you know, but I love you guys so much. So is there anything that we need to cover? Did I miss anything? Any like burning questions or desires before I conclude this meeting?
Yeah, how do we get Felipe to take care of the highs for us, but we get the credits?
Okay, so I guess the last thing is, Jim, I'll contact, you already have the passwords to the website, and I think you have access to the email, and we're gonna do the same thing for Emu, access to the website and the Gmail account for the email and all that. So we'll get together with you two guys at a later date. It's not super critical, you know. I'm in Northern California right now. I'll be here for another couple weeks. So you know, if something really critical comes up, you know, I'll get in contact with both of you. Yeah, let you know what's up. So congratulations on everybody, and we'll see you in August. Yay!
Thank you, Mike.
All righty, thank you guys. That's it. I'm signing out.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Mike. Thanks, buddy.
All right, man. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Jody. Yeah, awesome. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support you guys have given me and the club.